Up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal host, myself, and JD from Line Movers, and we have Jammer Betts here. Jammer, looking good in the Steelers jersey. I wonder why you're wearing that today. How are you today, my friend?
Man, I'm doing just great. Haven't taken this thing off since Monday night. It's been quite a week.
Absolutely. Well, good to have you back on. JD, how are you today, my friend?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm not allowed to talk about any other games currently.
Not yet.
So yes, for right now, everything is absolutely great.
We love to hear that. And quickly over to the comments before we get into our daily recap. Nick Castrucci is here saying happy Wednesday, fellas. Can we get a shout out for Mrs. LM? I was just telling her great job. She is in the back with us, helping us produce, and she did a fantastic job on her first winner in the Discord. So make sure you guys jump in the Moneyball Metrics Discord. There's a new capper in town who's coming in hot. Make sure you check him out. It's not Jammer either, but Jammer's been doing great in there too. It's Mrs. LM. Get in there, have some fun, and win with the boys. Well, fellas, let's quickly go over and recap how we did yesterday on Tuesday. JD, I'm going to start with you. How was your Tuesday in the betting world? And overall, how was your Tuesday?
Tuesday went pretty good. As far as our actually NBA props from the show here, they started out great and then just fell off. So they actually did not hit. As far as our hockey bets, though, we actually did have a 3-0 sweep there. We hit the Dodgers play. Actually, last night we actually bet their team total over there.
Yep.
That's a play that just continues to just cash in. And yeah, man, everything was really good.
Love to hear it. I'll go next. Yesterday, I did bring up when we were talking about some player props. We were talking about that Warriors-Pelicans game, looking to see if there was any value with Steph Curry out of the game. We came on here and we all discussed the ladder potential of Buddy Hield on his three-pointers. He then went off and had 7 in the game. So if you did tail that, you're probably feeling pretty good about that one. I do believe Nick Castrucci did ladder it, but he said he didn't do the ladder. I believe he just took his threes. That is a shame, brother. I thought you did hit that ladder, but it was a good day for me. The New York Yankees finally got a win, bringing my World Series record to 1-2. Hopefully gonna be able to get back to even tonight. Jammer, I know you weren't on the show yesterday, but how are you? How was your day yesterday?
Oh, man, riding the high from Monday. We all know the Steelers went in there, did what they had to do against that New York Giants team.
They did.
Also went 4-0 on the Sports Equinox. I had a full fade New York parlay. We faded them in all 4 major sports. Faded the Buffalo Sabres. They lost. We faded the Knicks. They lost. We faded the Yankees. They lost. We faded the Giants. They lost. So full 4-0 sweep on Monday. Yesterday went 2-1 in the NBA. We only lost on the under first half, 113.5. in the Dallas T-Wolves game. No one could stop Anthony Edwards in that first quarter. 0 points in the second quarter, but still didn't matter. He just put up too many in the first, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. We'll still take the winning day, though.
Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Great line there. Could not agree more. Well, fellas, good way to intro the show, going over what's going on, but we have a beautiful 5-game slate today. Let's dive into the first game we're covering today, which is going to be the Jacksonville State Gamecocks taking on the Liberty Flames. Just a lot of people may not follow these teams. It's a couple smaller schools, so just a little refresher. Last week, Liberty did have the worst loss in their program's history. They did lose at Kennesaw State 27-24 to bring them to 5-1 on the year. It was their first loss. So the story about this game is, can Liberty get back to being right after that disappointing loss to Kennesaw State? Like I said, on the other side, Jacksonville State's coming into this game off 4 consecutive wins. They beat up on Middle Tennessee State last week, 42-20. One thing I like to say, we talk about this quite frequently on the show. I do like to look at common opponents, and in this game, Kennesaw State was played by both these teams, both at Kennesaw State. So Kennesaw was the home team in both games. With Jacksonville State, they won 63-24. Well, on the other side, we all know Liberty lost 27-24. So with all that being said, let's go over to JD. What do you like about this game? I do believe you have a play on it.
Yeah, man. As everybody should know by now, I think I play this Jacksonville State team about every week.
Yeah.
It's not always the same play. Sometimes I play sometimes I play their side, and actually lots of different ways here. But to me tonight, they've been scoring points. They've been scoring a lot of points. The offense just playing great, and also they're playing fast. And tonight, I think we're going to see more of the same thing. As far as on the other side, you have the Flames, and they're giving up points to honestly some very bad teams.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I think actually Kennesaw State may be one of the worst, actually, like maybe worst actually offense.
They're up there. I mean, you take a look at
Yeah.
Kennesaw State's their numbers this year. So here are their point totals: 5 points in a game, 20 points in a game, 13 points, 10 points, 10 points, 16 points. So this team does not score points. So you're right about that.
The defense has just not been good. I will say that though, the Flames are not that bad. So this is definitely actually like a bounce back spot actually for them. So that's why the side I'm actually just going to stay away there. You can get the Jacksonville State. You can get their team total over. You can get a 30.5 at actually minus 122. I see them going over this. The mid, probably around that like 35 action point range. I see them getting there actually like no matter what. Yeah, I mean their offense. This is how hot they've been in the past 4 games. They've actually scored 203 points.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're like just on fire, and this is a defense that I just don't think is actually going to be able to actually stop them. So I'm just going to focus on actually that, and I love this play.
There we go. I'm gonna be taking Jacksonville State to win outright here. As I said earlier, I do not think that Liberty is a great team. You do see the common opponents, and these teams have played a lot of the same teams. And against most of them, Jacksonville State has looked better. Give me Jacksonville State. I think that was a big loss to Liberty last week that is going to hinder the rest of their season. This is not a best bet for me. I'm going to let that out early. This isn't my favorite game of the day, but if I were to take something in this game, it would be Jacksonville State. Jammer, what you got?
So, I mean, this one's a tough one, but I know JD's been riding those Jacksonville State team totals. I see them in the Discord all the time. They've been cashing, but this line just makes no sense to me. I don't understand how Liberty blows a 26.5 point spread, losing outright, and then they come back the next week and they're, slight favorites. This Jacksonville State team lost to Liberty last year by 18. I just think the line makes no sense. I think everyone's probably going to be on that Jacksonville State team. I'm going to go with Liberty here at home on the short week. Give me Liberty minus 125 on the money line.
I respect it. Well, fellas, that is going to be the only college football game we're going to be covering today. If you do hear that in my background, I apologize. There are about 5 trucks going by my window currently, so I do apologize about that. But let's move on, guys, to the NBA portion of this show. We are going to be starting today with the Lakers versus the Cavaliers, so let's dive right into that one. Interesting game here between 2 teams that have fared pretty well to start the season. The Lakers are coming in 3-1 on the year, while the Cavs are coming in 4-0. To me, the Cavs have been one of the most impressive teams in the NBA this season. I know we're only 4 games in, but let's quickly go over the games that they have won this year. Most recent game against the New York Knicks, they won 110-104. Game before that, they played the Washington Wizards. They won 135-116. Game before that against the Pistons, 113-101. And game before that against the Raptors, they won 136-104. To 106, I apologize. So they're pretty much blowing out all the teams they're playing. They're coming in with a perfect record. They're taking on a Lakers team that did just get their first loss of the year against the Phoenix Suns a couple nights ago. Jammer, we're going to start with you. What do you like in this matchup?
Man, that was a tough loss for the Lakers there versus Suns. Came down to the very end, had an attempt at a purposely missed free throw attempt to try and get that last one. I know a couple people were on Lakers plus 3.5, maybe the money line. It is just crazy how it always comes down to that number right there at the very end. Suns ended up winning by 4. Early number was 3.5. Late number was 4. It's funny how it always ends up like that. But we'll get to this game here. The Cavaliers, man, you already mentioned it. First time, there's 4-0, first time since the 2016-2017 season. That season, they obviously went on to win the championship. They also started the season 6-0 that year, so that was their best start to a season in franchise history. They're on pace for that. Looking like they might get another win tonight, man. This Lakers crew led by LeBron and Anthony Davis, obviously the core for that team. But so far this season, we've just seen Anthony Davis balling out down in the paint, multiple 30-point games. But it's tough seeing LeBron. He's turning 40 this year in December. So we've kind of seen his production go down, but yeah, his return to Cleveland, especially with Bronny being on the team right now, I think that that's really gonna, exhilarate him and kind of give him that energy that he needs to kind of get this team to go to the next level. Because right now we've seen the Lakers look good with JJ Redick. He's been making moves in the middle of the game, something that Darvin Ham never did. It kind of seemed like, once the ball started rolling down the hill for Darvin, that team just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But we've seen this year, we've seen them come back from, I think they were down 20 not too long ago, a couple games ago, ended up coming back winning the game. I think that this team is just revitalized with JJ in there. They've been running the ball down the court, doing a lot of transition plays, but I need to see more out of LeBron. I can't do it with this guy with the glass legs, Anthony Davis. I know he played 72, 73 games last season, but he got hurt in the playoffs. Like, you got to see this guy play at a high level all season, but you can't have him doing what he's been doing. I don't know what he's averaging. He's probably somewhere near like 30 and 15, but it's going to be tough to maintain that throughout the entire season. And if we're going to look at the game tonight, he's going to have a tough one versus Evan Mobley and Jared Allen down there in the paint. For me, it's just a little too much for this Lakers squad. There's going to be a lot of emotion in the arena with LeBron returning to Cleveland and Bronny potentially playing. I don't know if he's going to get in, but it kind of seemed like from what they were talking about this week that they're going to try and get him some minutes out there. But I think it's just a little too much, too early in the season, too big of a moment. I like Cleveland. I think that they are just on fire this year. They have one of the best defensive teams, surprisingly, one of the best offensive teams as well. They're top 5 in points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, steals, blocks, offensive, defensive, net rating. Like, they are just absolutely dominating the stats right now, and it's just tough to bet against them. So if I had to play in this one, it would be the Cavaliers -4.5, but it's just tough to pull the trigger. But I think they're going to win it.
Quickly, Jammer, do you have any comments about this question we have on the screen here? How do we feel about the LeBron prop? You were kind of talking about it, how it's a difficult matchup. So before you give your answer on that, I'll quickly say I don't love it. You put it perfectly. It's a tough matchup with Mobley and Allen and some of the bigs they have on the inside. I think they're going to need to utilize their perimeter shooters in this game to have a chance. So I personally do not like this prop for LeBron.
I'm the same way. I think that they're going to try and focus on beating those guys down in the paint. They might not be able to because those two guys are they're a heavy anchor down there. So I'm going to probably be looking at some 3-point props tonight. Probably not LeBron. He has not shown the scoring to me so far this season. But I'll probably be looking at some 3-point props for tonight.
I'll go quickly here, fellas. I'm going to be on the Cavs -4.5. I'll let it out early. I absolutely love this play. I do think it's a tough road game for the Lakers, especially when they're having a little bit of depth issues tonight. They have a couple true game time decisions tonight, which is going to be D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. I do not have the notes on the shoot around this morning yet, so we don't know exactly if they did participate. More to come when we get some information on that. But also Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood are also out for the Lakers today. So they're decimated with depth. They don't have a ton of guys tonight. And on Cleveland's, even to the guys, if they do have, they will be a little banged up this early in the year. You do pick up some, minor injuries, and you usually can play okay through it. But when 5 guys that are in your rotation are truly injured, it's a little difficult to play as well as you can. On the other side, the only real injury that bothers me for the Cavs is Max Strus. He's out till December 1st, so we all know he was going to be out. But this team's been clicking with the guys that they have, and they have some depth this year as well. I really like what they're doing over there in Cleveland. They have a lot of shooters who can shoot too. They have Garland, they have Donovan Mitchell. They could really put the ball in the basket. So I'm on the Cavs here, -4.5. It's definitely one of my favorite plays today, and I'm definitely very high on this Cavaliers team early this season. Barring any injuries, I'll probably be pretty high on them for most of the year this season. JD, any action from you?
Yeah, y'all actually both said that all great. This actually should be a really good game here. I just cannot go against the actual Cavs now. When you're looking at them on actually both sides, when you look at both sides, I mean, it's the offense and defense, their actual numbers are really, really good here.
It's insane.
Yeah, it really is. I'm sitting here going over them one more time, and there's no way that I could bet against this actual team here. It's at a number where I also don't actually really want to bet it either.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to stay
those
off.
free throws at the end of the game, man.
Right. So to go back to actually like Joe's actually comment there, I'm actually the other way. I actually would lean over to action night. I think I like his rebound prop a little bit more though. I actually would go over. It looks like it's at 6.5. Just actually looking at his past games here, the past few years, he's gone way over that. So maybe even a points plus, maybe a points plus actually rebounds prop, something like that.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I would lean towards the rebounds more than the points myself. If you can combine them, I definitely like that a lot more than taking just the straight points. All right, fellas, on to the next game we have on the slate, which is probably my favorite play of the day. Actually, no, it's my favorite NBA play of the day, but you guys already know where I'm going with this baseball game. So over to this NBA game. We got the Celtics taking on the Pacers. Celtics coming into this game 4-0 on the year. They're 2-0 on the road. They've been absolutely beating down on everybody so far this season. On the other side, the Pacers are coming in 1-3. They're 0-1 at home. Going to the injury report, we all know what happened to James Wiseman. He unfortunately tore his Achilles for the Pacers. He will be out for the entire season. Miles Turner is a true questionable tonight, and so is rookie Johnny Furphy. On the other side, Sam Hauser's a game-time decision. I did see that he did go through warm-ups this morning, so we should see Hauser in there tonight. I mean, he went through the shoot-around, and Porzingis is out until at least December. Jammer, we're going to go to you, our resident basketball guy, our NBA specialist. What do you think about the Celtics? Are they just on a tear, looking to go right back to the championship? Because they look like they haven't lost a step. They brought in basically the same exact team, replaced a couple minor guys with some other minor guys, but they look like they're clicking in full mid-season form right now. What do you think about the Celtics team? What do you think about the game tonight?
Well, we just talked about the Cavaliers, and this Celtics team is just on a different level. It's like, oh my gosh, there's no team that's even competing with them right now, and they're still missing Kristaps Porzingis, who to me is probably the most important key for this team. So I mean, they're not going to get him back till December. And personally, I didn't think that they were going to be rolling like they are right now. But if they keep playing like this, it is going to be a tough season to watch, because we might see them go win another one. We might see the back-to-back. The East, in my opinion, is going to be the easiest one to roll through. I don't think we're going to see like 4 or 5 dominant teams coming out of there. I think we're going to see Cleveland and Boston. I think those are going to be the 2 big ones in the East. A lot of question marks. Yeah,
I'm not thinking the Knicks. I'm not saying the Knicks. I'm thinking Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Well, I think the Knicks are a top 4 team. I think it's a 4-team race, and I think 2 through 4 interchangeable. Depends how the season goes. But I do think Philadelphia is definitely a strong team as well, and obviously I think the Knicks are a good team too.
So, I mean, the Sixers are the biggest question mark.
Of course, absolutely.
Sixers or the Bucks. I think the Bucks will stay healthier than the Sixers. Just this whole drama going on with Joel Embiid and Paul George getting hurt early on in the season. I know that they're going to try and get them to get back as soon as they can, but you can't roll through the season like that with your best player playing on, he's basically playing on broken ice. But like we were talking about, this Celtics team is scary though. But they did have some close ones last year versus the Pacers team, and they only had one matchup where it was post trade deadline where they got Pascal Siakam. I was big on this Pacers team at the end of last year. I thought that Pascal Siakam getting added to the team was a huge addition for them. Just adding the ability to almost score from everywhere, be a distributor, be that big body that can guard a lot of the guys out there on the court. But it's going to be a big question mark tonight if Miles Turner plays. I think he's a key part to guarding this Celtics squad. And if this Celtics team is hitting like they are at 3-point right now, they are hitting at an insane clip. It's just these games watching them. You're like, these guys are just chucking up threes. Like, there's no way they're going to maintain this. They just keep doing it all game long, and it's just like devastating to watch if you're betting on the other team.
Sure is.
So I'm personally on the Pacers +7. I think it's a lot of points, especially at home. Especially with the way that they played these guys last year. They had a lot of close games. I'm pretty sure that they altered wins. It was like Celtics won, Pacers won, Celtics won, Pacers won. But like I said, it wasn't the same teams. It wasn't the same matchups. If Miles Turner plays tonight, I'm loving them at the +7, but we will be paying attention to that injury report. Not going to pull the trigger just now. Check Twitter later, but right now I'm leaning the Pacers. I think they do keep it close. like we'll see a little bit of regression in those 3-point lines from the Celtics. They can't be hitting a damn near 50% every game. Let me see some perimeter defense tonight from these Indiana Pacers at home. Show some heart, keep the game close, maybe even win it.
There you go. I'm on the opposite end. Unfortunately, though, one of my best bets today is going to be the Celtics. They've just come out of the gate too hot. They're not missing. They're clicking in mid-season form. And we're seeing this Pacers team really struggle early on. Tyrese Halliburton has not really been able to find his shot yet. He will get going eventually. I'm not worried about the long-term projections of this Pacers team. But when a team comes out of the gate this hot, I like to ride them. I think the Celtics are going to continue to make shots, play defense. And to me, it doesn't really matter if Miles Turner plays, because even if he does play, Al Horford and the wings on the Celtics team will keep him out of the paint. So it still should be a clear and wide open paint for the Celtics to attack tonight. If they're hitting their shots, they win this game by 25. Feels like the story of this team every single game. If they're hitting their shots, doesn't matter who they play, they can win by 20 to 25. So I do think they will play in a game where we've seen them play the Knicks this year, the Celtics, and they took that game very seriously. This is another test that I think they will want to take seriously and show that they are the far superior team over the Pacers. Give me the Celtics minus 6.5. It is a best bet for me. JD, what do you got?
Man, for me, this is a really tough game. Y'all actually both said it well, because as far as the Pacer side of this number, I really want to take them here. But then Alpha, just like you said, if actually they're hitting their threes,
It's
this
a wrap.
is this is not going to be close, and that's what it's going to come down to. If the Celtics hit their threes, they could literally actually blow this team out. And if they're not, then it's a really close game. When something like that happens, that's not a game I really want to actually bet on. So I'm not here. I will say, yes, that. But then as far as a prop goes, I'm sitting here looking at it. It looks like Jason Tatum, when he plays the Pacers, he just goes off.
Yep.
It looks like he's had over 30 points in his last 8 or 9 games, actually, against them. Let me look at his prop really quick. You can get it at 28.5. So if actually you want to play a prop, there's definitely what I would play here.
Hey, this show's been hot on props. Yesterday, we gave out a ton. They've been on fire. So when JD is giving out a prop right now, this show has been absolutely killing on the props. Let's keep that rolling. All right, fellas. Well, that's going to do it for the Celtics game, but we have one more NBA game we're going to be breaking down today, and it's the game that everybody cares about more than any other game in the NBA today, which is the New York Knickerbockers taking on the Miami Heat. Teams are coming in with opposite records. The Knicks are 1-2, while the Heat are 2-1. Jammer, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think this Knicks team needs some time to gel with all the new pieces and the way they're all going to play with each other? Because me personally, as a Knicks fan, it's been tough to watch this Knicks team play early in the season. There's no continuity. There's no early spacing on the defensive side. They just don't look like the same team they were last year. I know a lot of Knicks fans are panicking. A lot of people in the NBA community are talking about this. But to me personally, I just think it's going to take a little time for all these new pieces to gel. When you get a guy like Mikal Bridges, you get a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, and you reintroduce the team to OG Anunoby, who was hurt for a long period of time, and now they don't have a guy like Julius Randle. They don't have Dante DiVincenzo. It really is a much different roster. Do you think this Knicks team is in trouble, or do you think it's just going to take time to get going? Also, what do you like in this game?
The team's definitely not in trouble, but they have had a tough start to the season.
Joe made me laugh. I had to put this up. That's a great comment.
I do want to see Joe's other comment, Orlando. I want to see that comment, because that is one very true. I didn't bring them up in the East. They are definitely one of my favorite teams. Alpha mentioned he thinks it'd be a 4-5 team race over there. I think it's Cleveland and Boston are going to be leading it, and then you're going to get this random crew in the middle. It's just going to keep switching back and forth. Orlando, New York, Milwaukee, and if Miami can figure it out, I don't think that they can. Maybe they'll be in that little crew as well. But the Knicks, they've had a tough start to the season. They had Cleveland, they had the Pacers, they had the Boston Celtics.
It's been a tough run.
That's not an easy start to the season. And I think that tonight they're going to get a little bit of an easier matchup. Down in Pat Riley Arena, and I think that's what they're calling it, or Pat Riley Court. I'm not sure what the new name was, but they got blown out by Orlando on the home court's first game. Now we got the D Wade statue out front. The team's not looking good this year. It's just like just one thing after another for these guys. So I'm gonna be going off of my fade New York train here. I'm gonna be backing the New York Knicks. I think they figure it out tonight. They finally get an easier matchup than they've had the first couple games. I do think Cat is ass. I do agree there, but I think that he will be able to figure out his spot on the team. He does not have to be the guy that's scoring 20 plus points a game. Like you got your score in Jalen Brunson. You got your other core pieces that can get some good chunks here and there, maybe even have a good night. Cat will have those nights where he scores 25, 30, but he doesn't have to be that guy on this team. So for me, I just don't think that we've seen enough from Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They aren't like their typical defensive selves and, grind the game down, win it 196. I just don't see it with this team this year. I've always been a big Jimmy Butler guy, but this year he didn't dress up for the NBA picture day. He just doesn't seem to be in it this season. So I think we're going to see a big game out of the Knicks tonight. I like a -1.5.
I only have room on my card to take one New York team today, so unfortunately that is not going to be this Knicks game. So what I'm going to throw up here is what you know that I love to say. Sometimes the best play is no play, and I really am waiting to see when this Knicks team gets it right, because they have a quarter where they look fantastic, and the next quarter they look terrible. They really need to get their rotations down. They need to get their knowledge of how each other play down so they can get better at playing with each other. For me, it's a no play. I got to see this Knicks team do a little more, and I'm not taking the Heat team either because you put it perfectly, Jammer. They don't look like your normal Heat team this year either. I think they're going to have a down year. So for me, no play. If I were to take something, this would be shocking, but I would probably take the Knicks money line. But no play for me. JD, what you got?
Alpha, man, I really can't say the exact same thing as actually you. So all I have to say about this game is puff, puff, pass.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think that's a great segue then to go into the next game that we're going to be breaking down, because this is a New York team that I can bet tonight. Guys, we're getting it hype in here right now. I'm adding a little music right here. The Yankees are back in the World Series, 3-1. It's not over yet. Or is it? I don't know. I'm turning the music off. That got us hyped for a second, right? But the Yankees have a shot here to really make it 3-2. We have Garrett Cole on the bump for the Yankees, who pitched an absolute gem in Game 1 of the World Series, going up against Jack Flaherty, who he pitched a good game as well, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that in New York with the same type of magnitude. I'm going to go quick. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm 1-2 betting this World Series. I'm taking my beautifully broken 1-2 record in this World Series to the Yankees to attempt to go 2-2 to get back to 500 in betting this series. I did take a game off. Give me the Yankees. I think Garrett Cole's going to do a good job, and the Yankees bat seemed to wake up yesterday. I know that the Dodgers use their B bullpen. They're trying to save their arms for tonight, but Aaron Judge was timing pitches better. If Anthony Volpe is able to give us anything, I think that will be a big help as well, and this team is starting to hit a little bit better than they were. I think the Yankees win this game, and unfortunately, they probably do lose it in the 6th game back in L.A., but give me this game tonight. Give me the Yankees, -140. They are going to get it done with Cole on the bump. Jammer, you've been fading New York all week. Tonight, you said you stopped with the Knicks. Are you making it a Knicks-Yankees parlay? What are we doing?
So for me, you already mentioned it. The Dodgers played their B role last night.
Maybe even C role. Maybe even C pitchers. It was really low-level bullpen, guys.
So whenever they got out to that early lead, I was like, okay, maybe they're just going to roll them, send them home packing. But once we saw that momentum shift with that grand slam and the Yankees took the lead, and it just kind of seemed like, okay, maybe the Dodgers are just kind of prepping for game 5. So to me, it just seemed like they were just like completely holding everything back for this game. I know that the Yankees fans are going to be raucous in there. They're going to be going crazy. We saw them rip a ball out of Mookie Betts' hand out there in right field. And it's going to be a tough environment for sure, but I think that they saved all their energy for this game. They don't want to take another one back to LA. They don't want to put the pressure on themselves to be that team that, blows a 3-0 lead in the series. I just think that they're going to blow the Yankees out tonight. It's going to be game over for the Yanks. Dodgers take it home tonight. I like them on the money line, +125, and I'd probably lean the under too. I see a 4-2, 5-1 type game.
I respect it. Quickly, before we go to JD, I have one more thing I wanted to add. In the last 55 years, the teams that have gone up 3-0 in the World Series have all won it in the fourth game. This is the first time we're seeing a team take it to 3-1. So that means it's a 50-50 shot in my book, right, boys? History's telling me that this hasn't happened in 3-1. So let's see what happens here. JD, what do you like in this game?
You know, just actually like you said, the Yankees bats did show me something. And actually last night I just couldn't bet on them just because they just hadn't shown me that. Last night they definitely did. They're actually feeling good now. That was just a huge win. They actually feel like they're actually back in this now. And tonight I think that they can definitely score some runs here. And with saying that, on the Dodgers, I just said the Dodgers, as far as their team total over, has just been hitting basically every single game. So that's going to lead me to the over here. I just think both teams are going to be able to score here. Yes, both of these starters did have a good actually game one, but they didn't pitch here. And that's where the big change is actually going to be. I think in this actually ballpark, we're going to be able to see some more runs here. I did give this out at actually over 8. The line has moved up now. So at actually 8.5, I still think it does get over that. But it actually would be a smaller play though.
All right. I like it. Pretty different opinions on this game. Whoever you trust more or whoever you like more, you can take their bet or whichever you guys think is the best bet. This will be a fun one to circle back to when we get back next with Jammer. When are you back on? Friday?
Friday.
Good. This will be a good one to circle back to. We'll be able to talk about that. Well, fellas, that's a great transition to get into right now. What I wanted to let you guys know about MoneyBall Metrics. MoneyBall Metrics right now has the ultimate week trial for only $7, which is $1 a day. You can get all the picks from the guys in the MoneyBall Metrics Discord. Get this deal. Make sure you DM the MoneyBall Metrics X account, Twitter account, Bluebird account, whatever the hell you want to call the app. Make sure you DM them. Get on in to the Discord. There's never been a better time to join with all these sports going on. $7 get you a whole week. So make sure, like I said, you guys dive in, check that out, and DM the MoneyBall Metrics Twitter, X, Bluebird, whatever the hell you call it, account, and get in the Discord. Fellas, that's going to do it for the breakdowns today. We broke down the college football game. We broke down the NBA, and we also broke down the MLB World Series game. So you guys know what that means. There's only one thing left for us to do, and that's dive in to our best bets. You know, I don't usually go first. I usually let Jammer go first, but he probably has those stupid Dodgers on there today. So I am going to go first today. I'm taking the New York Yankees on the money line as one of my best bets. And my second best bet, I think we're going to have to go with the Celtics minus the 6.5. The Celtics, to me, are the best basketball play of the day. I think they win this game by double digits. So give me the Celtics minus 6.5 and the New York Yankees on the money line. We're going to JD because I don't want to hear the Dodgers yet. JD, what do you got?
You know what? Tonight, you only need one play.
Okay.
Just go with this one play. Go Jacksonville State. Team total over 30.5 at minus 122.
There you go. Jammer, go tell us about the stupid Dodgers.
All right. So you had a game in the what was it? Pacers-Boston game. I'm going Pacers plus 7.
Okay.
I'm with you on the Knicks.
I didn't take the Knicks.
I'm back in the Knicks. Oh, you're not back.
No play for me.
Best bet. I'm on the Knicks minus 1.5.
I like it.
And this is what we've all been waiting for. I'm taking the Dodgers plus 125. They are taking them out. They're bringing out their gentleman's brooms. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep in the World Series. Dodgers come out, win it 5-2.
Yeah, I don't feel like looking at you anymore. JD, it's been a fantastic show, my brother. I'm just kidding. Jammer, I do like your best bets today. Guys, that is going to do it for today's show. Jammer, did you get to finish what you were saying there? I apologize for cutting you off.
That's all I needed to say. Dodgers,
that's all he said.
Home winners.
There we go. And thank you, wonderful person in the back, because I would not have done that. I will leave this up for at least 10 seconds. Get your phone, screenshot. Remember the picks. You can see them here. I am on Celtics minus 6.5 and the Yankees money line. JD is on Jacksonville State team total over 30.5. And Jammer is on the Packers plus 7 and the Knicks minus 1.5. Nobody cares about that last one, guys. That's going to do it for today's show. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. JD, say something to the people.
Remember, one play, Jacksonville State. Go.
That's right, Yankees. Everyone have a great day. I'm not saying goodbye to Jammer, so he can't get it in there. I'm closing the show. See you all tomorrow. Peace.